Just catch us both, yes. You're looking good, brother. MashaAllah. Anyway, what's your name? TJ. Nice to meet you. My name is Shamsi, brother. Okay. So your background is Christianity?
I was born a Christian, but I never really went to church.
You never went to church?
Prayed. I never really, I was just born. I went to a Christian school.
Okay.
And
So what? Okay. Let me tell you what is Islam exactly. Okay. As the Muslims, we believe that based upon Allah, the creator of everything, based upon His wisdom and His mercy. Actually, you have to hold it in case it's windy sometimes. Yeah. Based upon Allah's wisdom and mercy and justice, He said He chose people amongst us to convey the message to us. For example, Moses, Abraham, Noah, Jacob, Isaac, and Jesus, and the last of them is Prophet Muhammad. And we believe all of them came with the same message. All of them came to teach people to worship God alone and to stay away from the false gods. However, when you look back at Moses' teaching and Jesus' teaching, you can see there is corruption in it. Why? Because those followers of Moses, or not the true followers of Moses, who came after, people who came after and claimed they are followers of Jesus, okay, they had to change the teaching of Jesus to fit in with the Romans. Because remember, the Romans, they were pagans. They were pagan worshippers. So Paul, for example, we believe Paul, he was the main person to corrupt the teaching of Jesus. For example, Christianity, they say Jesus came to die for the people's sins. Okay? They say Jesus died for our sins, yeah? But is that teaching goes in line with Moses' teaching, Abraham, Noah, Jacob? None of that. Jesus himself, he never came to people, he didn't go around in Jerusalem saying to people, believe I'm gonna die for your sins, you'll be saved. No. When he came to people, he called people to worship God alone. When the young boy came to him, he said, oh good master, what should I do to inherit the kingdom of heaven? So Jesus, standing, a young Jewish boy came to him. He said, oh good master. He said to him, why are you calling me good? No one is good except God alone. That's clearly God, Jesus, not God. Because he said, why are you calling me good? The only good is God alone. You understand? The other thing, he said, what should I do? So the young boy said to Jesus, what should I do to inherit the kingdom of heaven? He said, keep the commandments of God. He did not say to him, believe I'm going to die for your sins. No, he said, keep the commandments of God. What is Jesus is referring to is that keep the Torah, the law, or the Mosaic law, yeah? The young boy said, I've been doing it since I was young. Jesus said to him, you are lacking one thing. He said, what is it? He said, give your wealth away and follow me. Follow my teaching. So that's Jesus' teaching clearly. Then we have Paul, who came after. He said it's not about the law. Remember Paul, he used to kill the Christians. He used to kill the true followers of Jesus. When he noticed they were very firm in their beliefs, so what he did, he pretended to accept the true teaching of Jesus, but he corrupted it. That Jesus died for your sins, Jesus, God, and all of this nonsense. When you look to Islam, just bring you back to Islam, Islam goes in line with our sound reasoning, our natural inclination. All of us, we are created, Muslims or non-Muslims, we are created with something called universal knowledge. What is universal knowledge I'm referring to here? It's our sound reasoning. Naturally you know, intellectually you know, it's impossible for someone to be perfect all the time and at the same time to be imperfect. Doesn't make any sense, innit? So, for example, Christianity, they say Jesus is God.
You can't have perfection in perfection is not like...
It is in God.
Yeah.
And you cannot be perfect in everything, but at the same time imperfect. That doesn't make any sense. That is a paradox. So if Jesus is God, but Jesus doesn't know the hour, but God knows everything. God is not a human. Jesus is a human. That doesn't make any sense. Likewise, when we look to Islam, there's only one God. Perfect. Look how Allah described himself. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Say, O Muhammad, Allah is one, unique. Allahu Samad, master, self-sufficient. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Or before that, everything is in need of him. Everything is what? In need of him. He's not in need of nothing. لم يلد ولم يولد, he begat not, neither was he begotten. ولم يكن له كفوا أحد, there is nothing like unto Allah. Allah is the creator, we are the creation. To tell me the creator become a creation, that doesn't make any sense. And that's a Christianity. The creator become a human being. Human beings are created, but the creators and the created doesn't make any sense. Likewise, we look to Prophet Muhammad's teaching, perfect way of life. To give you example, brother, yeah? Islam came to preserve 5 things. Watch this, yeah? To show you how man that existed 1,400 years ago, who couldn't read and write, he came with a perfect way of life, which is good for us individually and collectively. Let's analyze that. Islam came to preserve 5 things. Firstly, Islam came to preserve religion. What does that mean? Not any other religion, no. Islam came to preserve the true teaching of God. The main one is the oneness of God. That's why paganism, polytheism is forbidden in Islam. And when you don't have God in your life, the true God in your life, and a guideline from God in your life, then we start doing for our own desires. And we can see that right now. A man thinks he's a dog. I was watching the commentary. A man, he thinks he's a dog. He believes he's a dog, but he's trapped within human body. And you have to respect him, otherwise you're a bigot. I'm gonna respect him, forget that. Call me whatever you're gonna call me. You are a human being, you're not a dog. You understand? How are you gonna tell me to respect you before you call a dog? You have to respect me for calling a human being too. Why don't you respect me in this step? But look, Allah mentioned that in the Quran. Allah mentioned in the Quran that Satan will inspire people to change Allah's creation. Who's doing that now? He's charging this business. Man thinks he changed, he go, imagine you go cut off your forearm. People think you're mental, correct? Yeah. But that bit is part of you as well. You go cut it off and you put something else. See, because when you have no God in your life, the truth is following desires. Whatever you desire and Satan inspire you with, you do it. Man, see, that's so in Islam, that's why you have to worship the true God. The second one, Islam came to preserve intellect. That's why alcohol and drugs is forbidden.
It makes you crazy.
Yeah, it makes you mental. Yes, majority of crimes because of alcohol.
Yeah, I don't drink and stuff. I don't drink.
Alhamdulillah, you know, alcohol is crazy. You know what Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam called alcohol? Ummul Khaba'ith, the mother of evil. Even they say, I'll tell you the story. They said the man who was a righteous man, he went to a woman's house to deliver something for her. She said, can you help me to come in? She said, can you drop it inside the room? He said, okay. He went inside. She showed her, she exposed her body. He said, no, I'm a Muslim. I cannot do that. She said, if you don't sleep with me, then drink alcohol. He said, no, I'm not going to drink alcohol. She said, if you do not sleep with me, neither drink alcohol, I'm going to start screaming for the neighbors to come and they call police on you. So he said, you know what? I'll drink alcohol then. He drank alcohol, then what happened? He got drunk. He stepped with her. One evil, look, alcohol, because you're drunk.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing.
We know what you're doing. So he went to step with her. Look, our Prophet Muhammad, what he called it, the mother of evil. So alcohol is bad for us individually and collectively. Likewise, Islam came to preserve wealth, money. That's why gambling and interest is forbidden. Islam came to preserve marriage life, families. That's why fornication, adultery is forbidden, because it breaks that. Islam came to preserve life, that's the 6th one, and honor. That's why killing people unjustly is forbidden. These 5 things. So alcohol destroys societies, collectively, individually. Gambling, same thing. Interest make the rich richer, poor poorer. Yes. Fornication, adultery breaks families. Because of that, a lot of diseases and so on, abortions and the crazy, understand? So, yes, there is some people who benefit from these vices. Majority of times, bankers or those who are in power. That's why majority of times, those who are very hostile to Islam are those who are in power. Because they look at Islam as a threat for their business. Even though they know Islam is good for us individually and collectively. But it's going to make them go bankrupt. Now imagine we are in London and I have banks, I have gambling shops and so on, and he comes as a Muslim, start teaching people about Islam. I'm going to think, well, hang on, I'm making the money from the people, and he's going to teach them to stay away from alcohol, stay away from drugs, stay away from gambling, stay away from interest, fornication. Even though I know that it's good what he's doing, but because I'm an evil man, I want to make money from the suffering of the people. So what I'm going to do, because I'm rich, I'm making money, correct? I'm going to try to utilize the media to make him look bad, even though he's a good person. And this is exactly what's happening with those who are in power, utilizing the media to make Islam look bad, even though Islam is good for us individually and collectively. What do you think what I said so far? Does it make sense? Clear, innit? How the question we ask ourselves, how man existed 1,400 years ago, who couldn't read and write, yet he came with his perfect way of life. Yet we have these politicians around the world. There's no exceptions around the world. There's exceptions, maybe some Muslim countries, alhamdulillah, they stay away from this stuff. Yet they study in best universities around the world, they cannot resolve the problem. But a man that he didn't study nowhere, but he studied somewhere. You know where? He studied from his Lord. He got the revelation. Allah gave him the revelation. Who is Allah? The creator of everything, who knows what is good for you in details, and what is good for us in details, and what is bad for us in details. That's why we need a guideline from the creator. Another one, you know, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us it's going to come a time when you see women dressed but are naked at the same time. I'm not going to tell you to look, but you cannot escape it. Sometimes you walk in and you see some woman, you think, you don't understand if she's dressed or not dressed. But even look how the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ described it. He said they will be dressed but are naked at the same time. Person must say, what? Dressed naked at the same time? It's contradiction. No, you can see it. How man that existed 1,400 years ago was able to prophesy about something we can see right now? Because he received the revelation from Allah. Let me give you this example, bro. Imagine you're in the house and you are surrounded with a fire. Imagine, may Allah forbid, you go sleep tonight in your room, you wake up in the morning, there's a fire everywhere. You try your best to save yourself. You couldn't, you gave up. Say, you know what, it's over, it's done. I came and I saved your life. What would you say to me at least? Would you remember me all the time?
Yeah, I would.
I saved your life, bro.
Yeah, I would have died.
Yes, see? So why we are not grateful and remember who gave us a life for free? See? But my point here is, of course, we know, but we don't know how to do it. That's why God sent the prophets and messengers to tell us how to do it. We know naturally, you know, they should be grateful to Creator, to your God. You know that naturally, all of us understand. You know the oxygen that we get in, out, the air in, out. While we're speaking, we are benefiting our own existence by the virtue of the Creator. Our movements, when we speak, everything by the virtue of the Creator. But yet we are not grateful to Him. It's embarrassing, wallahi. It's big embarrassing. Like, look, when I said to you, if I saved your life, what would you say to me? You did not say to me, Shamsi, let me think if I say thank you or not. You said, no, I will thank you, you saved my life. What about the one who gave you life? Who gave you everything? Healthy, everything. You should be more grateful to Him. But the second question will come in, if you want to buy a gift for your mother, would you buy a gift that you love or your mother love? Your mother love. Likewise, if you want to worship the Creator, you want to worship Allah, you should worship Him the way He loves, not the way we love. That's what Allah said in the Quran. فَاسْتَقِمْ كَمَا أُمِرْتَ. Be upon righteousness the way you have been commanded, not according to our desires, the way the Creator. That's why, Islamically speaking, we say, if I was alive at the time of Jesus, the only way to worship God is by following Jesus' teaching. Before Jesus was Moses. If I was alive at the time of Moses, the only way to worship God is by following Moses' teaching. Before Moses was Abraham. Of course, there's many prophets and messengers, but the point here is that we as Muslims, we believe all the prophets and the messengers, and the last of them is the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. And I'll show you that Prophet Muhammad is a truthful person. Listen to this story. During his lifetime, eclipse happened. Eclipse, you know, the sun. That will happen at the same day when his son passed away. Prophet Muhammad had a son called Ibrahim. His son passed away. So his disciples, his followers, tried to connect the dots. So the Prophet Muhammad's son passed away, there is eclipse. So they thought that was a miracle because of his son. If he was a liar, remember, a liar would try, yeah, he would try to utilize it. Because I'm lying, I'm not even a prophet of God, I'm just lying. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to utilize any opportunity to manipulate you. But look what the Prophet Muhammad did. He did not say, yes, look what happened because my son passed away. No, he said what has happened about the eclipse, it has nothing to do with no one's life and no one's death. You see, he said when you see that, go rush to the prayer. To who? To Allah. Who is he? The creator of everything. Compare this story with the story of Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus, you know Christopher Columbus? Christopher Columbus who went to, they said he discovered America. He discovered nothing, he's a liar. Yeah, he knew where he was going. Christopher Columbus, he knew where he was going. Because the Muslims from Africa, they went to America way before him. He knew where he was going exactly. They said that's why they call it West Indies. Because why he was going to India, he ended up there. That's a pure lie, fabricated story. Anyway, let's go back to this liar. This Christopher Columbus, when the eclipse happened in America, the Native Americans, they told him why this happened. He said because God of the Bible is not happy with you. So give us your items. Because why they were ignorant, so what he did, he utilized the ignorance to manipulate them. Compare him with the Prophet Muhammad, how he never utilized the ignorance of his people to manipulate them. Because Prophet Muhammad is a messenger of the Almighty. He's a truthful and honest. You understand? So I can go on. What we say to you, bro, all of us here, how old are you, by the way? 19, yeah? Anytime we can live this life, we're gonna die. And the Creator, you can see the attributes or the manifestation of the effect of the Creator's attributes. His mercy, rain. But the same rain, the Creator is so powerful, he would turn it into his punishment, his anger, to destroy people with it. So based upon his mercy, he create paradise, eternal. Based upon his anger and his might, his power, create the hellfire. Look, let me show you how God is powerful. He create paradise, which is pure good. He create the hellfire, which is pure evil. And he create this life, which is mixed, good and evil. So in this life is a life of a test. That's you go here, bro. You choose if you want to be good and evil. If you're going to be good, then you have the eternal place, which is pure good, paradise. Prophet Muhammad told us about paradise, what the eyes never seen, what the heart never thought of, what the ears never heard of, because it's so beautiful. The Creator, this life is a test. If you stay away from these temptations and evil, yeah, we're not perfect. Yes, we make mistakes, but repent to God. So what I would say to you, if it makes sense to you, it's clear. Firstly, do you have any question? Ask any questions?
I was watching videos as well.
Yes? Alhamdulillah, so you've been doing homework. Yeah. Alhamdulillah, that's good. That's what I'm saying, bro. Look, wallahi, yeah, what increased my belief as well, what make Islam very special.
I just like how there's, like, you see how it's one God, like
the oneness of God.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. The why Islam is so special, the oneness of God is so pure. A man came to Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salatu wasalam. Some scholars say this narration is weak, but some scholars used it. So he was in Yemen, and he saw people in Yemen, the Christians, bound down to their kings. So he came to Prophet Muhammad and he bowed down to him. Prophet Muhammad, he said, don't bow down to no one, bow down to Allah. That's not the nature of a liar. That's not the nature of a false prophet. Look how even the Quran, how Allah describes himself, power with mighty, mercy, forgiveness. But we look to the God of the Old Testament, God regrets and all of that. Likewise, we look to the brotherhood in Islam, sisterhood in Islam. Yes, you have difference between Islam, differentiate between Islam and the Muslims. Muslims are not perfect, including myself. I'm a human being like you. Sometimes I get angry, sometimes I get happy. You understand? But Islam is a perfect way of life. You know, the best civilization is Islamic civilization. Because based upon mercy and justice and based upon knowledge, not based upon this nonsense that we see in our time. You understand? So if it makes sense to you and it's clear to you, then I invite you to become Muslim, because anytime you can live this life. You want to revert? Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. So I'm going to say the Shahada in Arabic, then in English, yeah? Say Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wa ashhadu Anna
Anna
Muhammadan
Muhammadan
Rasul
Rasul
Allah.
Allah.
I bear witness
I bear witness.
there's nothing
There's nothing
worthy
worthy
of worship
of worship
in truth
in truth
except Allah.
except Allah.
And I bear witness
And I bear witness
that Muhammad
that Muhammad
is the last messenger
is the last messenger
and the servant of Allah.
and the servant.
My brother, let me give you a hug, man. MashaAllah. I'm happy for you, bro. MashaAllah. 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 Alhamdulillah, bro. MashaAllah. Give me a hug, you. Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. Tabarakallah. Yes, my brother. MashaAllah. Glad tidings for all of you, you too. MashaAllah, man. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, when a person becomes a Muslim, all his sins forgiven. All his sins forgiven. So you too, like a newborn, inshallah.